Good morning, New Brunswick. I'm coming to you from Toronto, where we are gearing up for a few days with Canada's premiers to talk about the most pressing issues across the country, like healthcare, affordability, our economy, and also to tackle the biggest threats in front of us, like Canada-US relations. So here's what I have on the go this week. Monday, I'm headed to breakfast with Canada's premiers to get our discussions rolling. Then we're all heading out to Huntsville for meetings over the next 3 days. This afternoon, the premiers will be meeting with leaders of national Indigenous organizations, including the Assembly of First Nations, Métis National Council, the Congress of Aboriginal Peoples, and the Native Women's Association of Canada. Tonight, I'll be joining a welcome reception with stakeholders, ambassadors, and Canada's premiers. And then we'll wrap up the night with a dinner with the premiers. On Tuesday morning, we start the day with the Canadian Federation of Nurses Union. Prime Minister Carney is expected to join us for a First Minister's meeting, and we hope to get an in-depth update on the Canada-US relations and what the next steps are for Team Canada. We have a working lunch with former Canadian-US ambassadors Gary Dewar and David McNaughton. And then we're into the COF meeting, the Council of the Federation, or the Premiers meeting. We plan to discuss Canada-US relations, trade diversification, internal trade, and labor mobility. On Wednesday morning, I'll be starting the day meeting with Dr. Margot Burnell, President of the Canadian Medical Association. Then I'll be meeting with Kimberly LeBlanc, President of the Canadian Nurses Association. And then it's on to a working breakfast with the premiers and meeting for the rest of the morning to talk about healthcare, immigration, and public safety. Around 1 p.m. Eastern, Canada's premiers will be hosting a closing press conference that you can watch live. But it's 1 p.m. Eastern. Then I'll be chatting with New Brunswick media outlets to give them a bit of a readout from all of the meetings. Thursday is a travel day, headed back to Toronto and then flying home that afternoon. Friday, I've got to head down to pick up my oldest daughter from camp, then getting back to the office to meet with the young politicians of Canada, a meeting with our leadership team, and then I'm hoping to get over to the Loyalist Rugby Club where they're hosting the Atlantic Rugby Championships all weekend. On the weekend, on Saturday at 12:30, I'll be headed to the opening ceremonies of the New Brunswick Highland Games. Saturday afternoon is the opening reception for the Beaverbrook Art Gallery's summer exhibitions for Stephen Hutchings, Denise Richard, and John Fox. On Sunday, I'm headed to Woodstock to take part in the Old Home Week Parade, and then it's back to Fredericton to honor the New Brunswick Chiefs who are receiving the King's Coronation medals. I hope you have a great week, New Brunswick.